I need to say this right away, before you decide I'm exaggerating or misremembering things. I am not superstitious. I don't believe in ghosts. And before this job, I had never once felt afraid of silence. But room 12 changed that. And once you hear what happened, you'll understand why I don't answer the phone anymore after midnight. The phone rang at 12:17 a.m. That might not sound strange. People check into motels late all the time. Truckers, couples arguing, someone drunk and lost. I'd been working the front desk at the Highway Crest Motel for 6 months by then, and nothing surprised me anymore. Still, something about that ring made my stomach tighten. Not loud, not urgent, just steady, patient. I picked it up. "Front desk, how can I help you?" For a moment, there was only breathing. Slow, careful, like someone deciding whether to speak. Then a man's voice said, calm and irritated, "The sink is still dripping." I frowned and pulled the ledger closer. "I'm sorry, sir. What room are you in?" Another pause. 12. My pen stopped moving. Room 12 was empty. The Highway Crest Motel isn't one of those bright roadside places with ice machines and fresh paint. It's old. Built in the late 70s. Long single-story stretch. Doors facing the parking lot. Buzzing neon sign that never fully works. When I was hired, the manager gave me a tour and a short list of rules. Rule 1. Don't rent room 12. Rule 2. If the phone rings after midnight, answer it. Rule 3. If it's room 12, write it down. He didn't explain further. I didn't ask. You don't question things when rent is due. After that first call, I checked the system. No guest. No key issued. No car outside. Still, I grabbed the maintenance key and walked down the walkway. The night was quiet. Too quiet. No traffic. No wind. Just the hum of the soda machine near the office. Room 12 sat at the far end, always darker than the others. The porch light above it flickered even when it was replaced. I unlocked the door. The room smelled stale, like dust and old cleaner. The bed was perfectly made. The TV unplugged. The sink, drip, drip, drip. I stood there longer than I should have. The dripping stopped. Then, softly, from behind me, someone sighed. I spun around. The room was empty. The phone rang again at 12:43 a.m. I didn't want to answer it, but I did. "This is the second time I've called," the same voice said. Polite, controlled, annoyed. I can still hear it. I fixed it," I said, even though I hadn't touched the sink. "You didn't," the voice replied. "And the noise isn't the sink anymore." My mouth went dry. What noise? There was a faint sound on the line, barely audible, crying. A woman, close, muffled, like she was in the same room as the phone. Then the call ended. The next morning, I asked the manager. He didn't look surprised. He leaned back, rubbed his face, and said, "They always start with the sink." In 1986, a man named Harold Klein checked into room 12 with his wife. They'd been arguing all night, according to guests, shouting, crying, something breaking. No one called the police. At 1:12 a.m., the front desk got a complaint. Room 12. Noise. At 1:19 a.m., another call. Room 12. Still noisy. At 1:27 a.m., silence. Housekeeping found them the next day. Bathroom floor. Sink still running. The manager folded his hands. Since then, room 12 calls when it wants something fixed. The calls came every night after that. Always after midnight. Always calm. Always irritated. Sometimes it was the sink. Sometimes the light. Sometimes the crying. Once, the voice said, "She won't stop staring." I started checking the room before my shift ended. Nothing ever changed. No signs of anyone being there. But the ledger filled up. Date. Time. Complaint. The handwriting wasn't always mine. Some entries were old. Yellowed pages. Different pens. Same room. Same voice. Decades apart. It happened on a Tuesday. I was alone at the desk, fighting sleep, when the phone rang at 11:59 p.m., before midnight. I picked it up. No breathing this time. No pause. Just the voice, clear as day. "You're at the desk early tonight." My blood ran cold. "How do you know that?" I whispered. Silence, then something new. The sound of a chair scraping across tile, and a woman's voice, very close now, sobbing. "He said you'd help." I don't know why I went back. Curiosity, fear, maybe guilt. The door was already open. The bathroom light was on. The mirror was fogged, like someone had just showered. On the counter, written in the steam with a finger, was a name. And beneath it, one word. Complaint. Behind me, the door closed, and the phone on the nightstand began to ring. I picked it up. But I wasn't holding a phone. I was holding the cord. The voice came from the bathroom now. "You never fixed it," the man said. "She's still crying." The sobbing grew louder, closer. I backed into the wall. The mirror cleared. Two shapes stood behind me in the reflection. The man smiling, the woman staring. The sink turned on by itself, and the ledger from the front desk slammed shut somewhere far away. I woke up on the office floor just before dawn. No calls, no signs, no record, except one new line in the ledger, written in fresh ink. "Room 12, complaint resolved." The manager fired me that morning, said the room was finally quiet. But last night, my phone rang at 12:17 a.m. Unknown number. When I answered, a familiar voice said, "The front desk won't pick up." And then it asked me something I can't stop thinking about. If I'm not at the motel anymore, why can you still hear her crying?
Thank you for watching C&T Horror Stories, where the shadows speak and the night never ends. If you made it this far, you're braver than most. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because there are many more stories waiting in the dark. And they're getting impatient.